week I talked about Zagreb, what you can see and do in the city. And after Zagreb, we went on a little bit of a road trip to the Plitvice National Park. And that is what I'm talking about today. So I'm going to talk all about what we did and saw in the park, how much it's going to cost you, how you can get there, and what you can do for a day in the area when you do not visit the park itself. So first of all, I'm really sorry if I sound any kind of echoey. I'm in my new home office, but as you can see, there's nothing on the walls yet, so it's not fully finished yet and it's a bit, empty still, which is why it sounds like that. So sorry about that, it will get better soon, I promise. But let's get into today's video. So like I said, we went on a road trip, but we were actually never supposed to go on a road trip. We planned on going by bus, we booked our tickets, we actually already bought our tickets, but something went wrong in Zagreb at the bus company. They couldn't put us on the bus, which left us there stranded for another half a day. We could either wait for the next bus, or what we actually did was decide to rent a car, because we didn't want to spend half a day at a bus station, especially because we didn't have such a very long vacation. We had only 10 days and a couple were already travel days. So we decided to rent a car, and that was honestly the best decision that we made regarding the Plitvice National Park and the area there, because it ended up being really necessary. Like, everything was quite far apart. Where we stayed and have a supermarket close by, and there was only one restaurant. So the first tip I definitely want to give you is, if you go there, you can just rent a car to get there, because it is so much easier, it gives you so much freedom, and it also just gives you the opportunity to explore the area so much better. And I really love that we actually did that. If you can't rent a car though, you can go on day trips from Zagreb to the park as well, and that would be okay in this case. It is a long drive, there will be a lot of bus time, but the park you can definitely do in maybe half a day. So if you just want to see the park and you can't rent a car, then that is an option in this case. Okay, so let's get into how our journey looked like. Because when we went to the national park, we already booked our accommodation. We stayed in a guest house, and you will see a lot of guest houses and smaller hotels in the area. Some hotels, especially very near the park, can be quite expensive. So maybe look a little bit further. Again, great if you have a car, because then you can do that. You will find a lot of lovely guest houses close by that still offer you a great stay. So we went to our guest house, but on our way there we already came across this cute little town, and it already had some beautiful waterfalls. They weren't as blue as in the national park, but they were definitely gorgeous. And we actually didn't really plan on stopping there, we just drove by it. But if I can give you any advice, I would just take a stop, take a rest. They have a restaurant there as well, so you can get a bite to eat or something to drink. We just walked around, and not for very long, it's not that big, but you can kind of explore the waterfall and the water. There are a couple of older houses and some weird art, and all kinds of fun stuff, and just walk around for a bit, take a couple of silly photos. The little town is about 20 minutes away from the national park, and it was 30 minutes away from our guest house. So after that, we made our way to our final stop for that day, which was the guest house. But the next day we actually went to the national park. So we're gonna get into a couple of things that might be useful to you before visiting the national park, because I remembered before we actually went there, we looked up some information. You have multiple of those waterfall parks in Croatia as well, but this seems to be I'm not really sure if it's like the most famous one, but it looked like it. And I'm not really sure if it's the most beautiful one either, because it is the only one that we went to, but it was absolutely gorgeous. All right, so in the morning we went there as soon as it opened. It opens at 7 most days. You can find the opening times on the website, and I'll make sure to link the site, the official site of the park down below, so you can find ticket prices and opening times and stuff like that. So I would recommend to buy your tickets beforehand. You can also buy them on the day itself, but you will probably have to wait in line, and there is a chance that it's sold out, especially if you go during summer and like peak season. So we already bought our tickets. The most expensive ticket will cost you 40 euros, which is a regular adult ticket, but then you have student tickets. Kids are a lot cheaper, and if you go off season, it doesn't cost you as much either. So there are multiple ways to explore the park actually. You can take a bus and you can just walk everything, and there is also a boat that brings you from one spot to the next. And upon entrance you will get a map, or you can find it online, whatever you like, and you can see how you want to explore the park. So when we got there at 7, it was already pretty busy, like the entire parking lot was filling up quickly, but we were still quite glad that we went there that early, because when we left later in the afternoon, it was even like way more people there already. So yeah, we got there and we entered the park, and it was still early and not so hot, which was also nice. And we got in line for the bus. We didn't really plan on that. It just sort of like people started lining up, and we were like, I guess we have to go this way. And apparently that was the line for the bus that leaves and then goes to one part of the park where you can just hop on the path and then like make your way down and all across the park. So somewhere halfway there is a boat. That one was included in our tickets, but if you want to like explore the water part of the park on your own, you can also actually rent boats, like rowing boats, and you can explore the park that way as well. So if you maybe want to explore the park for multiple days, I would say maybe go walking one and take a boat the next. But for us, it was definitely enough to just take the regular, bigger, multiple person boat. I'm not really sure how to call that boat. Let's just look at it for a moment. Like I said, we went there as soon as the park opened at 7 a.m. and I think we were like across the entire park at 2 p.m. maybe, so it really didn't even take up our entire day. That surprised me because I thought we could easily spend a full day there, but there is a very narrow path and you walk across it all along the park, so it's not as if you can really just like calm down and take all of your time and as long as you want, because you will be probably annoying a lot of people if you stand there taking a bunch of photos all of the time. Maybe this is less of a problem when you go off season, but it was definitely quite crowded when we went there. I can imagine right now during COVID they probably have some sort of regulations in place so it won't be as crowded. But it was pretty crowded when we were there. So yeah, we were just going through the park, and at 2 we were done, and we actually had a full other day left at the guest house. We planned on staying there for 3 nights and weren't really sure as to what we wanted to do, but we just thought, you know, we're in nature, there is probably a lot to do. We can go hiking, we can go do other stuff as well. So that was why we decided to stay there a little bit longer. If you just want to go to the park, you don't need to, but we actually decided to do something really fun the next day as well. So the next day we actually went rafting, if that was what it was called. I'm not really sure. We've done done some rafting before, but in like a regular boat, and we went in kayaks this time. It was in the river that also flows all the way to the park. So you would think that it was close by, but it was actually an hour drive from our guest house back up towards Zagreb again. So it was okay because we did have the car and it was definitely doable, but this is again something that you will need a car for. We got there early in the morning and we got geared up and we went into the river and we did that for a couple of hours. And that was so much fun to do. Honestly, it was great. So if you're looking for something to do for your other day there, I can definitely recommend doing that because it is absolutely fun to do. I can't remember how much it costs, but I'm sure that you can find something online if you just look up like Plitvice National Park, rafting, and that's how we got it actually as well. So there are multiple places where you can do that. So that was our second day, and that is really all that we did in the area, and it was fun, it was relaxing, but there isn't really too much to do in the area itself, especially if you do not have a car. You can of course go on beautiful walks because it is a really foresty area. A couple of notes. If you do want to buy any groceries, make sure that there is a supermarket nearby. Same for restaurants, because we only had one restaurant near our guest house, and if we didn't have a car, that would mean that we have to eat there for 3 meals a day and every day that we were there, or yeah, no, I think that would be the only option because we couldn't really go anywhere else. So that I think would have been a little bit boring, but yeah, it's just, yeah, it's a gorgeous area, but it is a bit low on facilities. So make sure to do your research on where you're staying and that you have sort of a plan before you go there, whether you want to visit a park for a couple of days or just one day. Maybe you can do a day trip, or you want to do something else like we did. So those were our 2 amazing days in and around the Plitvice National Park. If I forgot anything, if you have any more questions, let me know in the comments down below. But this is all that I kind of wanted to know before I went there. Like, how do I get there? How long will it take to explore the park? And what else is there to do? So I hope I answered those questions for you. But feel free to ask me anything else about the park as well. So don't forget to give this video a like if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more travel content, and I hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you next week. Bye guys.